So hey guys, I just want to show you some cards that'll help you get over Dark World. Just continuing on with my anti-saga. So what you have here, you have Banisher of the Light and Banisher of the Radiance, and they basically do the same thing where every card sent to the grave is just banished instead or removed from play. Except this one is 2000 defense, so you probably want to set it first, and then if it gets attacked, everything will get banished after that. But for this one, you can just summon it. I see more so Banisher of the Radiance because it's just a walking Macros Cosmos, and it's 1600, so it can be destroyed, but you can keep it safe as opposed to it being 100 attack, which you can easily get over. Next is DD Crow, and you have to time DD Crow correctly. You usually wait for a Grapha to be bounced, and like if you have Beiige on the field and you have Grapha and Grave, you send Beiige to the hand and then you use DD Crow, because Grapha is a summoning requirement. When you send a Dark World to the hand, it's not an effect and it doesn't start a chain. So next is Despair from the Dark. So Despair from the Dark is when you force your opponent to discard. Like, let's say I have this in my hand. My opponent used Card Destruction, Morphing Jar, Dark World Dealings, any of those cards. I can, if this card gets discarded as a result of that, you get Special Summon. It's a 28 beater. The only thing I can really get over it is Grapha effect, Grapha with Gates, or like a trap card, or Dark Hole. And that's basically it. Then these two, I found these online. I mean, I guess you can scare them with it, but I don't think they're like the best thing, but they're not bad. This one is, if it's sent from hand to the grave, you gain 1000. This one is sent from hand to the grave, you inflict not 1000. You gain 2000 and then you inflict 2000. It's set from hand to the grave. So this can scare some Dark World players, because if they do that Dark World dealings and then you discard this, inflict 2000 damage, they might be hesitant to do it again unless they're trying to push for game. Then there's Gemini Imps. So for this one, if you activate an effect that makes you discard, the ones I mentioned for Despair from the Dark, you can discard this or send to the grave, and then negate that effect, and then draw one card. So it's not that bad. Morphing Jar, you flip it face up, you negate Morphing Jar's effect, you draw one card. So yeah, it can be pretty good. They're sitting there with 1700, 700. 1700 is this one, and this card is whenever it faces a fiend or zombie, destroy at the end of the damage step. But I wouldn't really recommend this card. It's an option, but I wouldn't recommend it just because if you have Grapha, it's just going to be coming back, and you still take battle damage with this, and they'll probably swarm the field and stuff, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But if you're playing some sort of warrior build, I guess it can be okay. Next is End of Anubis, and End of Anubis is sort of like Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, because they both negate card effects that activate in the graveyard, but End of Anubis also negates cards that target things in the grave, like Monster Reborn, Call of the Haunted. Only thing that isn't affected again is Grapha, because it's a summoning requirement. So that's what those two do. Then it's Dimensional Fissure and Macros Cosmos, which is banish Dimensional Fissure is banish all the monsters, and Macros Cosmos is banish all cards in general. But Macros Cosmos can be Solemn Warning, because it says you can special summon 1 kilos of the primordial sun. So since that has a special summon in there, you can Solemn Warning it. Next is Bottomless and Dimensional Prison. You usually save those for when Grapha's attacks are special summoned, so you can just banish it. It's probably not going to be coming back all game unless Trance gets sent to grave. Another thing, other tips and things if you face Dark World players. I hate it when people DD Crow me when my only fiend is in the grave, so I can't use Gates. Another thing is, when you use Solemn Warning, you don't use Solemn Warning on Grapha, use Solemn Warning on the monster to summon Grapha. So if I have Beiige on field, so if I have Grapha and Grave and I normal summon a Beiige, use Solemn Warning the Beiige, So then you can't bounce for Grapha next turn, and on top of that, you have one less monster to work with. So that's how you work with that. You don't solemn warning the Grapha because it's just going to be coming back next turn. So yeah, these are just some cards that can probably help you out if you're facing Dark Worlds. Because Dark Worlds, if they get going, they can be really fast, but at the same time, Dark Worlds can also be inconsistent, so you might have the edge in the beginning. So just throwing this out there, So good luck facing Dark Worlds, and have fun.